Good day, folks. Welcome back to Merton Hyundai and Ed's Garage. Are Konas exploding? No, they're not exploding. That's ridiculous. As usual, the media has sensationalized something that isn't really happening. So, have some caught on fire? Yes. Out of about 90,000 units sold in 2019 and 2020, about 12 or so have caught on fire. Now, that's terrible. It's tragic for those people who it happened to. Thankfully, there hasn't been any deaths and hasn't been any severe injuries. But you know what? That doesn't make light of the fact that it has happened. So, not a great thing so far. But here's the thing. This could actually work out to be a good thing. Obviously, there's a little bit of fear in the industry about buying electric vehicles. But I want to point out, you know, it's happened way more often to gasoline vehicles. Every 17 minutes, a gas vehicle bursts into flames in the United States. So here's the crazy thing though. Only 4% of those were in accidents. They're catching on fires from fuel leaks, oil leaks, power steering fluid leaks, automatic transmission fluid leaks, that sort of thing. It actually happens significantly more. So if anything, hopefully this unfortunately somewhat tragic occurrence in 12 instances brings to light a little bit of understanding. Now, electric vehicles are much safer than gasoline vehicles in regards to catching on fire. It doesn't happen nearly as often. So why is the media sensationalizing it? Well, it's kind of obvious. Electric vehicles are relatively new. You know, they've been around for about 15 years now or so, with the exception of some, some cool vehicles like the Saturn EV1, and way back when there was also, well, there's been electric vehicles throughout history, but now they're sort of more mainstream. But they're still only selling like 2 or 3% in comparison to the gasoline vehicles out there. So the media sensationalizes it because they can get away with it and actually, get viewership because of it. So does that mean that you shouldn't buy an electric vehicle? No, of course not. You should absolutely buy an electric vehicle. They're more fun to drive, they're faster off the line, there's more torque, they're way more economical, they save a ton of money if you drive a lot. Yes, there's about amount of money that you got to pay up front, the premium for the battery, but if you're driving enough, it'll make sense in the long run. We are doing our very first battery replacement under the Hyundai Kona EV battery recall. So I just wanted to show you where we're at real quick here. We've got a new battery sitting in our detail bay that we're going to pop into this Kona behind me. But let me show you a little bit about what we're looking at here. So this is the old battery. We actually had 9 guys around this lifting this battery off of the lifting table. This is the lifting table. It's actually basically a scissor lift that can come out and drop the battery down from the bottom of the vehicle. Here's the cavity under the vehicle. You can see, just to give you a bit of a size reference here. So there's a bit of a hump right here, and then a nice flat floor, and of course the battery kind of goes from here all the way to this spot here. Now, all these hoses, of course the battery is cooled, so you can see the coolant lines currently pinched off to make sure that no coolant drains out of the system. Makes it a lot easier to basically prime the system and everything once it's all put back in. You got your main battery terminals, your high voltage lead here, there's your DC connection. So pretty cool. And then right up in here there's a hole for basically a safety plug or safety fuse or whatever that they pull out to discharge the system, which you can see right here. So very heavy battery pack, about 1,200 pounds. And yeah, so tomorrow they're going to go ahead and put in the new one. So what is Hyundai doing for their customers who have the LG chemistry battery? Well, I want to point out that the battery is at fault here, and it's manufactured by a different company, not Hyundai. And you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of critics are taking the advantage of Hyundai by blaming them, but really, they didn't make the battery. Hyundai is, however, paying for a large portion of replacing all these batteries. It's the largest EV recall in history and the most expensive EV recall in history, and Hyundai is paying for about half of it, from what I understand. LG Chemistry is paying for the other half. So good on them for taking care of their customers. That's the LG Chemistry battery. 2021s and newer will have the SK Innovations battery and are not going to have the same issue. So definitely go out and talk to a salesperson about a electric car, because honestly, they're fantastic. Now, is it just the Kona EV that's had this issue? No, it's not, absolutely. I mean, the Chevy Bolt has had, I think, 5 or 6 instances. The Tesla Model S, Model 3, Model Y, there have been several instances of those catching on fire for random reasons. But again, it's all very minor when you compare it to how many instances of gasoline vehicles have caught on fire. Guys, don't be afraid of electric cars. They're awesome. Don't be worried about them exploding. They don't explode. If anything, they catch on fire very, 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 very rarely, so don't worry about it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below. I'd be curious to hear what your take on the situation is. For one, I wouldn't be worried about it. All right, thanks, guys. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for future videos, and thanks so much for watching.